The one thing that I think is very interesting about this is that we've made a lot of progress with the U.S., Mexico, Canada trade agreement, and we're very positive about that. We do understand that there's this possibility of tariffs. It is a concern to us, of course. We're also encouraged, though. There's communications and there's meetings and negotiations going on right now. So at the same time we have to plan it as a possible scenario, we also believe that there is time for the two governments to reach some agreements and that this won't actually kick in.
Still, you said you have to plan. There is a hypothetical situation that the president laid out that it goes up to 25% on all Mexican imports. What's the economic toll in that scenario?
I think that's where the flexibility of our network is going to be so important to our customers. Customers depend on us to help them with their supply chains. If it's a 5% tariff, that is one thing, and that gets handled in one way, I imagine, by a lot of our customers. If it starts to build and get more and more, then you do have to look at alternative sourcing, they would, and alternative trade lanes. So it could have a much bigger effect. But again, I don't want to jump the gun because I believe that it's to both countries' advantage if we can find a resolution that doesn't involve tariffs.
Well, meantime, the U.S.-China relationship has gone the other way. Since we last spoke to you, the tariff rates went up on Chinese imports into this country. What have you seen so far?
Our customers are showing more interest in looking at other ways, other trade lanes and other ways to hit not only the U.S. market, but other markets around the world. So we haven't seen a lot of people actually make changes in their supply chain. Some were already in process. The longer this goes, though, it very well could happen. And we are encouraging the government on both sides, the governments on both sides of this issue, to find ways to increase trade, to grow trade between the two countries. Once tariffs start to kick in, and if it changes supply chain patterns, sometimes those are hard to reverse even after a trade agreement is reached.
Your competitor is now being investigated by the Chinese government. Is that creating an opportunity for you to swoop in and pick up business in China, or do you feel threatened by that?
No, I don't feel threatened by that. I believe that, and I sure don't know all the facts around what's happening with our competitor when it comes to this. What it has caused us to do is just make sure that we stay very close with all governments, but in this case the U.S. government and the Chinese government, to make sure that we are following all their laws and restrictions. We have not diverted any shipments, and we're very careful that we don't. But we also are also very careful that we do not deliver shipments to parties that we're not authorized to do from the U.S. government.
Do you do business for Huawei?
We do. We do, and we do it all around the world, and there have been no incidents of us diverting shipments. But there are, for not just them, but other customers, that we have had to return packages because we're not allowed to deliver to certain addresses.